You're listening to Sox in the Basement, a production of the Broadcast Basement Limited, where every show is 30 minutes of good and comes from a basement bar on the south side of Chicago. Pull up a stool, pour a cold one, and join us right now for Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. And welcome down to Sox in the Basement. My name is Chris Lanuti. Pull up a stool at my 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. We're going to do a simulated White Sox game. We've been doing these broadcasts ever since opening day. It's about a 90-minute show, taking you through an entire White Sox game. Sit back, relax, crack one open, put it on at work as we follow the White Sox and what could have been. And it also gives you a looking glass into the future, especially if they can work things out and bring baseball back. We use MLB The Show 20. We're sponsored by Cork and Carry at the Park at 33rd and Princeton. They're open now, plus the great food is also available online, corkandcarryatthepark.com or through Grubhub. And SoxOn35th.com does post-game analysis. It's a complete package brought to you from the podcast for fans by fans, Sox in the Basement. And just a quick note for you, next week, we will bring back the normal show on Wednesdays with myself and my buddy Dave. You'll miss a broadcast or two during the week, but every game will be updated. And on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, you still get your regular Sox in the Basement 2020 simulated broadcast. The Sox are having trouble. They've lost 3 straight series and 2 in a row. They're now 6.5 back out of first place, a half game behind the Indians, who are in second. And now we travel to Cleveland. Ricky Renteria says he's going to be juggling his lineups a little bit to get that spark back in the batting order. Lucas Giolito needs to have a better start than he did last time out. 6-4, 4.73 ERA. He's ready to go, and so are we. Out to Cleveland. It's Sox in the Basement, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. Progressive Field in Cleveland. Welcome to all of you. My name is Chris Lanuti. You're listening to Sox in the Basement, simulated White Sox baseball every day since opening day as the 45-30 Chicago White Sox, after a rough stretch, still 15 games over 500, enter this series in third place, a half game behind the Indians, and Mike Clevinger, 14 starts and a 4-5 record, is able to start this one. He was a scratch last time out, 1.62 whip, and a 5.43 ERA over 69 and 2/3 innings. 81 strikeouts, though, so he averages well more than a strikeout per inning. A revamped White Sox lineup, at least for this game. A couple of changes. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Tim Anderson, with the 9th best average in the American League, hitting .325, 5 homers, and 34 RBI, steps in. The leadoff hitter only has a .359 on-base percentage. For a leadoff man, I'd like that to be a tick higher. But he's done a very good job. He's second in the American League in stolen bases, only trailing Luis Robert. Clevenger's first pitch, inside corner at 7:11, the official game start time tonight, is a strike. Now Anderson swings at a high outside pitch, lifts it out into left center field, back near the track. It will be caught. So 2 pitches, 1 out for TA, heads back to the dugout. The 2 games coming into this one, the White Sox not only lost them in Detroit to an inferior team, but they only scored 1 run in the last 2 games. The offense struggling, so Leury Garcia's in today, playing center field and batting second. He stands in there lefty against Clevinger. With 1 gone here in the top of the first is Yoan Moncada, hitting in the 3 spot today for the first time in a long time. No Jose Abreu in the 3 hole. He has been moved down, hitting .268. and leading the team in double plays that he's hit into. 0-1 now to Garcia. The pitch on the way. Inside pitch swung on and missed, a curveball. 0-2. Garcia's hitting .295 on the season. He plays, I would say, about 5 games a week. He is not the starter by any means at any position, but his bat is becoming a necessary thing to have in the lineup. He fouls that one off. 0-2 the count still. Now an inside pitch, check swing. He did not go around. Freddie Ferguson behind the plate today. He will be the umpire calling the balls and strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes right now from Clevinger. The pitch on the way to Garcia. Inside almost hits him with a slider. 2-2 now, the count is even. So Moncada's batting third, Yasmani Grandal will bat fourth, Abreu fifth, Jimenez is sixth, Encarnacion is seventh, Nomar Mazara in the lineup today in right field batting eighth, and in the ninth spot, Nick Madrigal, your second baseman. Garcia swings and misses at that one. First strikeout for Clevenger, it was low and away, he reached for it, and here comes Moncada. Second in the American League in batting average at .331. He has 13 home runs and 42 RBI. Started the season in the 2 spot. Went down for a little bit after an 0-15 start. Then got himself into the 4 spot and caught fire. And now moving into the 3 spot, at least for tonight. An outside slider misses, 1-0 the count. He is 1 for 13 lifetime with 5 strikeouts against Clevenger. But you have to remember he spent a terrible season, his first full one in Chicago. And against some of these AL Central pitchers, he was basically an offer for that season. 2-0 as that one is low. Next pitch high, swung on and missed. A four-seamer, he was just underneath it. 2-1 the count. Sox getting a little speedier at the top of the order, at least today with Garcia in the 2 spot instead of Grandal. It's a line shot over to first base, picked out of the air. 1-2-3 go the White Sox midway through the first. There's no score with the Indians coming up. Lucas Giolito takes the mound, 15 starts, 6-4 record, 4.73 ERA, 83 2/3 innings with 70 hits and 41 walks. That's a 1.33 whip. He also has 84 strikeouts. So almost exactly a strikeout per inning for Giolito. He had been showing signs of turning the corner after a rough start to the season, had a setback last outing. Cesar Hernandez steps in hitting .259. The lefty awaits the first pitch from Gio. And Lucas puts it low and outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Sox at one point were 18 games over 500. They've been in a little bit of a slide. Not a big one, but they're down to 15 over 500 now. They had a 9-game winning streak, but over the next 9 games have gone 3-6. So overall, that's a 12-6 record over your last 18. It's all about perspective as an inside four-seamer catches the corner. 2-1 now the count. Going around the horn, Abreu is over at first. Encarnacion is the DH. Is this a bunt attempt? Fouled off down the third base line for the second strike. 2-2 now the count. Giolito into the wind in the pitch. An outside circle change misses with Oscar Mercado standing on deck. We have a full count to the first batter here for the Indians. Lucas into the wind in the pitch. Swung on and missed a four-seamer high and outside. He went for it. Strikes out the first batter. There's one gone, and here comes Mercado. So Grandal behind the plate. Abreu at first. Madrigal's at second. Short is Anderson. Third is Moncada. Left field Jimenez. Center field Leury Garcia. And in right field, Nomar Mazara. Your bench is Engel, Robert, James McCann, and Danny Mendick. And your batter at the plate right now is Oscar Mercado, .299, 15 home runs, 52 RBI. He's been doing very well this year, standing in the right-handed batter's box, already 1-0 in the count. Grandal sets up inside, and the inside fastball misses, 2-0. His 15 home runs place him third on the Indians. Giolito quickly into his wind and delivers. High inside pitch now 3-0. Lindor stands on deck, hitting .296. Outside pitch just misses. Giolito wanted it, didn't get it. It was right on the corner of the plate. He walks him on 4 pitches, so a free pass. And that has been an Achilles heel for Lucas Giolito all season long. He needs to limit those. That's what gets him into trouble. And here comes Lindor now, with a runner over at first base, hitting .296 with 9 homers on the season. In the left-handed batter's box, with pretty good speed on first. A high and tight pitch called a ball. 1-0 the count. Lindor is 5 for 15 with 1 run batted in lifetime against Lucas Giolito. Low inside circle change misses, 2-0. The Sox starters have had a rough time during this run. Once one of the best staffs in the American League, over the last 9 games, not so much. Outside four-seamer hits the zone 2-1, but they are a young team. And I'm not disheartened by the bumps. The bumps are going to happen. You get a 9-game winning streak, you can't be upset about a 3-6 over the next 9 games. On the road, they're basically a 500 team. Until they figure out how to win more consistently on the road, we're going to have these ebbs and flows where they're hot, they're catching up to the Twins, and then they have to head back out on the road, and they take their lumps. 3-1 now to Lindor. The Indians are a much more even-keeled team, but this team has a core that has been into the playoffs multiple times. Full count now to Francisco on a curveball inside corner. 3-2 to count, 1 out, a runner on first. Big payoff pitch here. Got him on the inside corner looking. Lindor does not like it. It does not matter. Giolito has struck him out, 2 in this inning. There's 2 gone, the runner remains at first. Here comes Franmil Reyes. Reyes has 17 home runs, 2 of them against the Sox this year. Hitting .238 with 42 RBI. He's got a .759 OPS. Acquired from the San Diego Padres. A guy who was a platoon man out there, now the 4-hitter almost every single day playing right field for the Indians. Runner's going to go, throw down to second base, not in time. Grandal almost gets him, but Mercado takes off and steals second base. The Indians will run just like the White Sox run. My only hope is that Ricky Renteria will do this in real life with more running, especially with guys like Robert and Anderson. You've seen Garcia take bags, Madrigal, Moncada, Mendick. You have some speed on this team, and it really puts the other team off balance. Right now, Giolito trying not to get off balance with a runner on second and a 2-2 count to Reyes. The pitch. Inside, 12-6 curveball misses, and another full count. He has been full now against 3 batters. The first 2 he struck out on a 3-2 pitch. 1 swinging, 1 looking. Here's the offering. Down the middle, foul back, a four-seamer. Tried to go right after him. 22 pitches so far for Lucas Giolito, and he strikes him out on number 23. A slider hooking away. In the end, Lucas walks 1 and strikes out 3. He had to use a bunch of pitches to do it, but after 1, there's no score here in Cleveland. Yasmani Grandal in the 4 spot today, hitting .303 with 20 home runs and 58 RBI. He's on a 10-game hitting streak. Got a .387 OPS. He struggled a little bit in this spot earlier on in the season, but he did very well with Abreu right behind him. So what Renteria seems to have done here is put him into that role at the cleanup hitter, but put Abreu behind him in the 5 spot. First pitch is a strike. Next one, a curveball taken outside. 0-2 quickly. As he stands in the left-handed batter's box, he has much better results there. He's done well on the right side, but he's started to taper off on the right side as the season has progressed. An outside pitch misses, 1-2 the count. Yasmani goes on tears from time to time. The average generally fluctuating between about 270 and 310. Swing and a miss at an inside changeup. He went low, but the pitch was lower than he went. Second strikeout for Clevenger. There's 1 gone. Both pitchers rolling right now. And Jose Abreu comes to the plate, the 5-hitter, hitting .268. The first pitch low, fastball, 1-0 the count. He's 6 for 27 lifetime with 10 strikeouts against Clevenger. Clevy, pretty good against this White Sox team, and an inside curveball taken for a ball 2-0. Abreu still leads in the All-Star vote at first base, along with Grandal leading at catcher. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Inside pitch, ripped back up the middle, a base hit for Jose Abreu. Move me down the order, won't you? I'm going to get a hit, first hit of the game for the White Sox. So there's a run around here in the top of the second inning, and Eloy Jimenez hitting .271 steps up. 14 homers and 46 RBI. The interesting thing about this lineup is you've essentially said, okay, Abreu's struggling in that 3 spot. We want to use him, though, to protect Grandal, so we move Grandal to the 4, put Abreu behind him, then you put Jimenez just 1 spot lower, but still protected by Encarnacion, where he's had success. It'll be interesting to see if this takes. 0-1 to Eloy. This game may not be the best indication because you're going up against a very good pitcher. So it might be a few days of this. here in Cleveland. Jimenez fouls that one off 0-2 quickly with one out and a runner on first here in the top of the second inning. Outside pitch misses low and away, a slider. 1-2 the count. Clevenger was scratched from his last scheduled start against the White Sox. Tristan McKenzie came in and actually got the win anyway. High four-seamer misses. 2-2 now to Jimenez. Abreu with a moderate lead. Probably not going anywhere. High pitch fouled off. Probably would have been ball 3. It was a curveball, though, and Jimenez didn't know if it was going to dip into the zone, so he's protecting. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Low and away, a curveball, 3-2. So Eloy fighting back in the count. Meanwhile, earlier today, the Chicago Cubs hosting the Boston Red Sox. The nostalgia. Red Sox win 6-3 in the day game. That one swung on and missed, a slider across the letters. He thought it was going to be a fastball. He swung through it a little bit early, and Clevenger gets his third strikeout. Edwin Encarnacion is second on the team in home runs with 16, hitting .265. Got an OPS just under 900. Takes a ball outside with 2 outs now here in the top of the second and a runner on first. Behind him is Nomar Mazara, back in the lineup for today. The 1-0 pitch, outside corner, a changeup taken, 1-1. Mazara, the left-handed hitter, may be getting a few more games starting in right field against right-handed pitchers. That pitch is high, 2-1. Sox need to be patient, make the pitcher work. They didn't do that the last 2 days in Detroit. When they do that, they have far more success. Because even if they don't get to you in the first couple innings, they wear you down. It's something the team got away from. It's something they're hoping to regain today. Clevenger up to 31 pitches here with 2 outs in the top of the second, the 3-1 pitch. Inside, he walked him. So he misses inside on the four-seamer. There's 2 on now. A hit and a walk given up by Clevenger so far in this inning. And this is when you strike the 207 hitting Mazara, who has spent some time basically being the 5th outfielder on this team. I would say he's behind Engel and Garcia, Robert and Jimenez. Getting the start today, batting lefty. First pitch outside, a slider taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. Madrigal, the 9-hitter, waits on deck. Clevenger takes his time, gets behind the mound, removes the hat, wipes the sweat. Taking a moment here. Knows that if he gives something to Mazara, he has the power to get it out. He's that kind of guy. He might hit in the low 200s, but he would get about 25 home runs a season if the White Sox kept him in there the entire year. He's 2-0 on an inside pitch. Abreu leads off of second. Encarnacion leads off of first. Curveball catches the high and inside corner of the zone, 2-1. Next offering, rip back up the middle. That is a base hit past Lindor. Abreu comes around. There's going to be a throw home. He is safe at the plate on a very close tag. The ball got there before Abreu. Catcher set up directly in front of home plate. Jose does the feet first slide behind the plate, avoids the swipe, and gets the arm in. The tag hits him in the chest while he twists his body and gets his right hand on the plate as he slides around behind the plate. He flips over to get away from the tag and gets his hand on the plate before the glove hits him. A great call by the umpire. That could have gone the other way very easily. A single for Mazara. The Sox lead 1-0. Madrigal's up with a 1-0 count and fouls off a 2-seamer, 1-1 now. Encarnacion's at second. Madrigal's hitting .333 over his last 10 games. Inside pitch misses, 2-1. Anderson waits on deck. So with 2 outs, the walk issued to Encarnacion and the up-the-middle base hit by Mazara. Both hits have been right up the middle on the ground for the White Sox so far in this inning and in this game. Changeup, fouled back, 2-2, the count is even. Next offering, away a slider, 3-2. That slider is not coming anywhere near the plate. And that's helping White Sox hitters if they're able to identify it. They know to just sit back and let it tail away. If he figures out how to get that in the zone, he's going to get somebody. Count is full to Mads. The payoff pitch. Inside, he walked him, and the bases are loaded. And here's where the White Sox need to capitalize. You got the bases loaded, a run in already with 2 outs. You have a very good pitcher in Mike Clevenger who's struggling this year and has had injuries to this point. Like we said, he got a start scratched last time out. You have Tim Anderson at the plate, one of the best hitters in the American League. You need to get the hit here and drive in a few runs. Get him early. Outside changeup misses 1-0. Encarnacion at third. Mazara's at second. Madrigal's over at first. A 1-0 pitch coming to Anderson with Garcia on deck. Down the middle, and he rips this one out into left center field. On the run, the play will be made near the wall. Anderson gives it a ride. 2 of them out into left center. But they're not getting down quick enough, and they're not getting over. Midway through the second, 1-0 Sox. You know, Mike Clevenger's a good pitcher, and the team's in kind of a slump. And I would have liked to have seen Anderson just try to take it back up the middle, like the other hits that we saw in that inning. It's almost like if you're playing 16-inch softball as Jose Ramirez stands in the left-handed batter's box hitting 276. Takes a 4-seamer high for ball 1, and there's a shift on with Anderson on the other side of second base, Moncada at short, and Madrigal in short right field. You know, when you're having a hard time with a really good defense or a pitcher with a spin on the ball, you don't try to jack the ball. You're just going to fly out to left and to center. You're just going to pull the ball. And they're just going to sit out there and catch them all day long. So you start trying to put line drives up the middle, balls on the ground, hoping for a bounce. And TA didn't do that there. I would have liked to have seen him do that in that at-bat. 2-1 the count now to Ramirez. Outside pitch swung on and missed, 2-2. Giolito already has 3 strikeouts in this game. He needed 23 pitches in the first inning, though. And a low 4-seamer misses. The count is full. 4th guy to go full against Giolito in 5 batters. He struck out the other guys. Let's see what happens here. Lucas using a lot of pitches in this game. Low outside fastball in the zone is fouled off. Count remains 3-2 as that flutters down the third base line. Pitch number 30 on the way here for Giolito. Inside pitch, jam shot down the first base line. Abreu gets it in foul territory. Another payoff pitch on the way. And he fouls off this one into the crowd down the third base line. Outside 4-seamer. He's gone 4-seamer 3 times in a row. Let's see what he does here. This time he takes something off it and gets him on a high changeup on a check swing. His 4th strikeout. Giolito with 32 pitches has recorded 4 outs, all of them strikeouts, and walked a batter. It's not the most efficient method. He's not going to go long with that. I'm sure his defense is getting bored. Tyler Naquin steps in, and a high outside 4-seamer misses, 1-0 the count. The defense is yet to have to do anything yet. Grandal sets up on the outside corner. Now this one is sent out in the left field. Jimenez coming in, has a beat on the ball, will make the play on the run. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. And Carlos Santana, the hated Carlos Santana, who changed everything about a week ago and created this huge comeback for the Indians. Gets one up the middle. Anderson across, and he gets him. A great play by Tim Anderson. He's on a shift for Santana on the other side of second. Fields the ball back over the shortstop position and throws it on a jump throw, getting Santana by a step. And we're in the top of the third inning, the Family Waterproofing Solutions third inning, with a 1-0 lead. And Larry Garcia is going to lead off with Moncada and Grandal behind him. And a low 4-seamer misses, 1-0 the count. Clevenger starts the inning on 44 pitches. Gets a fastball on the outside corner there, 1-1. Now a high 4-seamer tails away, 2-1. Family Waterproofing Solutions wants to help you out. You got a crack? You got some kind of foundation issue. You got uneven concrete outside the house. You got some seepage. You got some water coming in. You got some things you need checked on, like the sump pump. You need window wells. You need something repaired. They got you. Great financing, low prices, excellent work, amazing reviews. You can look them up. The 3-1 pitch to Garcia is fouled off down the first base line into the crowd. The count is full. And all the details about how to reach them coming up midway through this inning. Inside four-seamer misses, and Garcia's on first base. Clevenger walks the leadoff man. Nice at bat there by Leury. And Moncada comes to the plate. Ken's a veteran. His wife Maria have made this a family business that basically covers all of northern Illinois except for a few counties near Iowa and northwest Indiana. They'll do it over video. They'll do it with pictures. They'll come in on site and give you the free estimate. Give them a call. Reach out to them. Good friends of the show. Big Sox fans. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed by Moncada. It's now 1-1. He swung at a curveball. He's 0-1 in this game. Garcia takes off for second. A low pitch, called a ball. Leury is out at second base. A bang-bang play. Sox trying to put on some pressure here. And he's gunned down. Nice throw down there. Perfect throw, right on the bag. It needed a perfect throw to get there, but he got him anyway. There's one gone now here in the top of the third. High slider taken for a ball, 3-1. Sox have been caught stealing now twice in their last 5 attempts, even though they are second in all of baseball in stealing percentage. 3-1 count, the pitch is high, and he walks Moncada. So Garcia gunned down, but Moncada now takes over at first base on that walk. Clevenger up to 55 pitches, and Yasmani Grandal comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second inning. Hitting .302 as he stands in there in the left-handed batter's box. And an outside changeup misses, 1-0 the count. Clevenger is struggling, but he has a 1-0 deficit only. Sox need to add to that. Curveball lifted out in the left center field is going to get down. Moncada round second as the ball is bobbled. He's on his way over to third. And Grandal, first and third now, after that single, an 11-game hitting streak. The ball got down, and as the left fielder comes across and gets his glove down to try to cut it off going into the gap, it goes off his glove. He stops it from getting into the gap. Moncada recognizes it immediately, stutter steps at second base, and takes off to third. And here comes Abreu, who's 1 for 1. And he's got 2 on. The first pitch down the third baseline, just foul. There's 1 gone here in the top of the third inning. And you're just looking for something deep enough to bring in Moncada or a base hit. This one over to second base, a tailor-made double play. So Abreu, who has been made famous over the last week or so on this broadcast for just hitting into double plays over and over again, does it again. 4-6-3, rack him up, and midway through the third, 1-0 Sox. Foundation issues not properly handled can be costly. Family Waterproofing Solutions is owned by Ken, a veteran of the United States Marines, and his wife Maria, making them a veteran-owned business and a female-owned business that will diagnose and repair wet or leaky basements. And while they're located on the Sox side, Family Waterproofing services the entire Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana. And now, after taking time off to ensure they can do things safely and securely for you, Family Waterproofing is back in business and doing jobs. Plus, part of the proceeds for every job that they do are donated to veteran and first responder organizations who support our frontline defenders. And currently, Sox in the Basement listeners have access to special pricing when they contact Family Waterproofing Solutions now, 708-330-4466, or visit them today at FamilyBasementWaterproofing.com. White Sox had something going in that inning. Clevenger escapes. Still 1-0. Domingo Santana comes up for the first time today for the Indians, hitting .300 in the 8th spot. He's got 6 home runs on the season. A very high on-base percentage. Giolito starts the inning with 35 pitches. Throws a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Now a low slider misses, 1-1 the count. Roberto Perez, the catcher, waits on deck. Now he goes outside with a slider, just misses, 2-1 the count. Tampa Bay Rays are taking their turn in Baltimore, winning 4-0. Later on tonight, there should be a start very soon. In Minnesota, they're about to start against the Yankees. Be nice to see New York go in there and beat them up a few games. We got to win ours, though. That's been the big problem. 3-1 count now to Santana, and the pitch. And he gets a curveball over to bring it full. Count full here. Giolito into the windup. And he does not reach for a high fastball. Santana is a patient guy at the plate. Leads his team in walks, and he gets one there. Second free pass issued by Giolito. He let Mercado walk on 4 pitches in the first inning with 1 out. Now there's a guy on first and no outs for the 9-hitter Perez. Some kind of weird half dinosaur, half purple people eater dancing on top of the dugout. I don't know what that has to do with the Cleveland Indians. As Perez takes a ball high, 1-0 the count. Now Giolito goes in again, but it's also high, 2-0. Worked outside, now inside, but he's 2-0. We've seen Giolito lose his focus at times, start issuing walks. A low inside pitch call, the ball 3-0 now with Hernandez on deck. You don't want to do this. You've been cruising, basically, through the first 2 innings. And now you're about to walk 2 guys in a row to lead off the third. Gets a strike across down the middle above the knees, 3-1. He's really relying on the 4-seamer. He's having a hard time getting the slider across. And a circle change just misses the zone below the knees, according to the home plate umpire. He's walked 2. And the top of the order is coming out there. And Don Cooper's going to run out and talk with his pitcher. Just give him a chance to reset. Moncada and Grandal join him. The rest of the team waits at their respective positions. All right. Cesar Hernandez is in, 0 for 1. The lefty has 2 men on and nobody out. 4-seam fastball. Call the ball on the outside corner. Giolito puts his head down and yells at the mound. He wanted that call. He's upset about it. 47 pitches now for him. He's got 2 on and no out in the bottom of the third. Inside, changeup swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. They're starting to bang that stupid drum in the hopes of bringing about a rally. And a fly ball out in the center field. Garcia's got to tail back near the track. He'll make the catch. The runner's going to advance from second to third. Perez holds at first. It's first and third now with 1 out on a long fly ball by Hernandez. And Leury Garcia tracks down right near the warning track. And here comes Oscar Mercado. He walked on 4 pitches the first time up, hitting .299. He has an opportunity to tie this game up. And he fouls off a 4-seamer low and in from Giolito. He's 2 for 6 lifetime with 2 strikeouts against Lucas. Giolito's thrown 50 pitches now. And a off-speed pitch swung on and missed, low and away. He's gotten in the chase 2 pitches outside the zone to get to the 0-2 count. Giolito trying to work out of a jam that he put himself in with 2 leadoff walks. He's got 1 out now. He's going low in the zone. Now he comes up high. And a fly ball out in the right field. Mazara plants underneath it. The runner's going to tag. Throw comes in the home plate. He is out at the plate. Mazara guns him down. Mazara guns him down from right center field. A big throw. He hit Grandal on the fly right on the plate. Incredible throw by Nomar Mazara. Saves the run. There's a guy that's been looking to play for the last couple of weeks and came to play today. Nomar Mazara, regulated to the bench as of the last several weeks, gets a start today. He has the only RBI of the game, and he saves a run with a brilliant throw. And Eloy Jimenez, who's 0 for 1, will lead off the top of the fourth inning. And Clevenger throws his 60th pitch right there, 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer, a ball inside. Jimenez 2 for 10 lifetime against Clevy. Inside curveball misses 2-0. Both pitchers struggling with control, yet somehow it's a 1-0 game. Imagine that. Outside four-seamer, 3-0 now. Encarnacion stands on deck. Clevenger takes his time, looks in, the pitch on the way. And he walked him on 4 pitches, a four-seamer low. Jimenez goes down the first base. Clevenger has walked the leadoff guy now multiple innings in a row. It was at least 2. I want to say it was 3. No, it was 2 innings, and Abreu had a base hit when he came up. But Clevenger putting on runners each and every inning. Encarnacion hitting .265, stands in. He walked the last time up. Jimenez on first, and a high pitch taken for a ball, 95-mile-an-hour four-seamer. 1-0 the count. Edwin is currently 7th in the American League in the All-Star vote for first base. He only plays it every once in a while. Jose Abreu is number 1 in the vote. That pitch hits the outside corner high, but in the zone. 1-1 the count. Jimenez with a good lead. The pitch on the way. Chopped down the third base line, foul. Picked up by the third base coach. 1-2. Next offering, inside pitch sent over to short. Flipped to second, over to first. Jimenez almost took him out at second base. They're both laying there. He went straight into the bag. If he was like a half a second sooner, he probably disrupts it. Gave everything he could. But a double play erases him and Encarnacion. There's 2 gone here in the top of the fourth inning. And here comes Mazara. 1 for 1 with a single. An RBI. He's hitting .212 now with 6 home runs. And he threw out the runner at home plate for the third out. Last half inning. And an outside slider misses. 1-0 the count. Lindor's on the other side of second. Ramirez, the third baseman, is playing short. Second base is out in short right field. A shift on for Nomar. And a fastball fouled off 1-1. There was no shift employed when he got the first hit because there were runners on. And he was able to put it up the middle. If he did that now, it'd be a ground out. But he's 3-1 now as Clevenger misses again. Madrigal waits on deck. 71 pitches for the Indians starter. And pitch number 72 walks Mazara down the first base. Lots of guys getting on for the White Sox. That has been the case over the last 3 days, actually. The problem has been getting people in. Tristan McKenzie getting up in the bullpen for the Indians with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. And here comes Madrigal hitting .243. He walks the first time up, and now he takes an inside fastball. Almost hit him in the chin. 1-0 the count with Mazara over at first. With the 9-hitter up, we're at least turning the lineup over yet again. This one ripped out to the right center field gap is going to get in there and roll. Mazara comes around second, heading to third. The ball is picked up. He's going to round third and hold. That's a double for Madrigal with 2 outs. His 7th of the season. And the little man has gapper power. He only has 1 home run, but we've seen him do that a lot this year. That right center field gap. He lives there with doubles and triples all season long. And now here's TA, who's 0 for 2 with 2 deep flyouts. He had the opportunity with the bases loaded last time and 2 outs to get a run in, and he couldn't do it. He's 0-1 in the count here, hitting .323. He's got runners on second and third, and Madrigal's fast enough. A hit will score 2. Inside pitch misses. 1-1 the count. He won the batting title in 2019. He's in the top 10 right now in the American League. Outside pitch misses. 2-1 the count. This one sent out in the right field. It will not get by Reyes. who only has to move over a little bit. Did not tail away like the Madrigal hit. Another fly out to the outfield. 3 of them for Anderson. He's left 5 guys on base. 1-0 midway through the 4th. Francisco Lindor comes to the plate in a 1-0 game. Lucas Giolito on 52 pitches. Number 53 is a high fastball, 1-0 the count. We're here in the bottom of the 4th in a pitcher's duel in which neither pitcher has looked very sharp. But each offense just coming up short with runners on. And Lindor takes a strike there. He's 2-1 now in the count. They're underway in Minnesota, Yankees and Twins. 2-1 pitch is high, a 4-seamer, 3-1 now with Reyes on deck. Rondal sets up in the outside corner. They can't get the call. He tries to frame that pitch. He's disappointed, and Lindor goes down the first. So Giolito walked the first 2. Last inning, he walks Lindor right away here to lead off the 4th. And here's Reyes, 0 for 1 in this game. Pretty good speed over at first base in Lindor. You got to keep an eye on him. And a high inside fastball misses, 1-0 the count. Giolito needs to find the zone again, misses away, 4-seamer, 2-0. Now he misses low, 3-0 the count. This is exactly what happened last inning. It's deja vu all over again. And he walked him. Jose Ramirez stands in now. 2 on. No out. Giolito throws back to second base. And now they're going to come out and talk with him again. 2 innings in a row, he walks 2 to lead off the inning. And both times, the second guy up walked on 4 pitches. 61 pitches, he's thrown 34 for balls and only 27 strikes. He has struggled all day with his control. White Sox bullpen getting up now. The drum is beating. Inside circle change misses. 1-0 now to Jose Ramirez. He's only hitting 130 with runners in scoring position this season. He fouls off a 4-seamer, 1-1 the count. That stupid drum continues to beat in the background. Lindor leads off of second, and the outside 4-seamer misses, 2-1. Michael Kopech is throwing. Alex Colomé is throwing. Ramirez is 0 for 1, the 2-1 pitch. Low, change-up misses, 3-1 the count. Could he literally walk the bases loaded to lead off the 4th inning? This one lifted out into right field, tailing back near the wall. Mazara back to it, catches it, bounces off the wall. That one almost got out. Runner's going to advance from second to third. The other one's going to hold. Mazara makes a great catch running into the wall in right field for the first out. I'm telling you, it's deja vu all over again. He walked the leadoff man last inning. Then he walked the next one on 4 pitches. Then a deep fly ball to the track that Garcia caught, and it was first and third. This time around, in the exact next inning, he walks a guy, walks the next guy on 4 straight pitches, and a deep fly ball caught at the wall by Mazara, first and third. The lefty, Naquin, is 0 for 1. He steps in. Giolito on 66 pitches. The tying runs over at third base, and he throws a high 4-seamer that misses, 1-0 the count. No control today, really, from Giolito. Very fortunate, and it's not just him. Clevenger having a hard time. I think the umpire's game has actually been pretty on. A high fastball, 2-0 the count now. Lucas behind in this count as well. I don't think he sees another batter if he walks the bases loaded, as long as the relief pitchers are ready. Sent out to left field. Jimenez will make the catch. The throw coming home. Lindor sent to the plate, and this one is offline, and the Indians will score. So everything was the same as last inning, but on the fly out that came, Jimenez unable to make the throw Mazara made. It's a 1-1 ball game with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Indians finally get one across, and Carlos Santana comes to the plate. The lefty is 0 for 1 with a ground out in the 2nd inning. Domingo Santana waits on deck. Runner still at first base. Did not advance. And a four-seamer's fouled off, 0-1 the count. Santana's 0 for 9 lifetime against Giolito. Curveball fouled off, 0-2 the count. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Lifted out into center field, coming on is Garcia. He will not be able to make the play. Takes it on the one hop. It's going to be a single. Runner's going to hold at second. Santana gets his first hit of his career against Giolito. He's now 1 for 10 lifetime against him. There's 2 on with 2 outs. And the Sox have seen enough. Alex Colome, formerly the closer. Colome, if you're nasty, is going to come in. Giolito gives the ball up. Disappointing day for him. He's already up to nearly 80 pitches. He has no control. Pitches all over the place. And Ricky Renteria is done losing. 26 games for Colome. 23 and a third innings. 3.86 ERA. Lefty's only hitting 186 against him. Righty's hitting 304. He's got an 0-2 record. He's got a righty in there right now. He only needs to get 1 out. Runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch low, a four-seamer, 1-0. Kopech warming in the bullpen, likely to take over in the 5th inning. Now an outside pitch ripped down the first base line, near the pole, and it's gone. Alex Colome is gasoline on a fire. He has fallen hard in the last month. That one gets out at 364 feet, right down the line, opposite field by Santana. Only his 7th home run of the season. A 3-run job. It's 4-1 Indians. And he has become a very unreliable pitcher in the bullpen as of late. And Perez comes to the plate now. And the White Sox bullpen, hot earlier on in the season, very, very cold now. I would say the only guys you can really rely on going forward is Kopech, Cishek, and the 2 lefties, Fry and Bummer. Maybe Evan Marshall. To bring a guy in who's a closer by trade and ask him to get 1 out, and he gives up a 3-run home run with 2 outs and puts your team down by 3. Very disappointing. 2-2 the count now to Perez. Next offering down the third base line, foul. The pecking order in that bullpen, I expect that to change as well. Swung on and missed, he got him. The inning's over, but the White Sox give up 4 runs. Giolito left with 2 men on, and Alex Colome gives up one that hits the pole right down the line. Meanwhile, here we are in the top of the 5th inning, and Tristan McKenzie comes in, 25 innings, 4.32 ERA. Lefty's hitting 333 against him. Righty's not so well. He'll take over for Clevenger. So both pitchers don't make it into the 5th inning. It was shaky for both starters today, but the one mistake really came from the bullpen when Colome gives up that home run. 1-0 now to Larry Garcia, who's 0 for 1 in this game, and he pops this one up to the catcher. Perez underneath it will make the play. 1 gone. Moncada comes to the plate. Lots of game left here in the DP3 Tech 5th inning. Sox trailing by 3. Unfortunately, they had plenty of opportunities against Clevenger. Tim Anderson alone left 5 guys on base in 2 at-bats. Unable to get the hit. As Moncada fouls that one off, 1-1 the count. Yoan's got a walk in this game as he swings and misses, and the count is 1-2. And you can see McKenzie and Kopech both come out here now and pitch brilliantly. And unfortunately, McKenzie's got a 3-run lead. Inside pitch misses, 2-2 the count. You got 2 young pitchers coming out of the bullpen right now, waiting for their chance to become a starter. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but could Lucas Giolito be on his way out as a White Sox starter? Remember, he struggled all the way up until last season. He was incredible last year. This year, not very good. 3-2 pitch sent out into left field. It'll stay in the ballpark for out number 2. Here comes Yasmani Grandal. He's 1 for 2 with a single in the third inning. He's hitting .305. Stands in the left-handed batter's box. The pitch on the way. Swung on and ripped down the first base line foul. His 20 home runs have him tied for 4th in the American League right now. As he puts this one right over on a line drive to second base, scooped out of the air, and the Sox go down 1-2-3. The White Sox have 1 run on 4. The Indians 4 runs on 2. Midway through the 5th. New challenges bring new technology. DP3 Tech has partnered with Microsoft to make things easier on you and your business. Imagine being able to get everybody together in a nice, easy, user experience friendly meeting room and being able to share whatever you want in the room with just one click. You can migrate from old legacy on-premises equipment right now to flexible, secure, work-from-home friendly cloud services. Bring your group together faster, better, easier. Find out what DP3 Tech can do for you. Contact their cloud migrations team today, 312-896-2450, or email info@dp3tech.com. You're in the DP3 Tech 5th inning. You just heard about DP3 Tech right there. Telling you right now, that's a pretty good idea. You know, taking everything that you're doing in your business and making sure that your people can get together with one button, migrate over your systems. You still have control over all your stuff, but now it's right there at the touch of a button. You know, the idea that you don't have to use the Google Docs and all these other crazy things out there. You know, your Zoom, and you got to pay for that subscription, and you got to, you know, all these things you got to do for your employees. Why not just have a system set up? They're working at home. They're on the road, they're in the office. Whatever's happening that day, nothing changes. DP3 Tech, a proud advertiser on Sox in the Basement. Michael Kopech comes in, 12 games, 28 in the third innings, 2-0 record, 4.13 ERA. And Michael may need to come into the starting rotation soon, as everybody in that rotation is struggling with the exception of Reynaldo Lopez. It has been a very difficult run here for White Sox starters. Renteria did pull Giolito. And Giolito had only given up 1 hit. But he had walked so many batters. He had thrown so many outside pitches. And he could not find the zone in that inning. At all. Has a discussion with him. And it just did not look good. You bring in Alex Colomé in a 1-1 game. He's got to get 1 out. And he gives up the 3-run home run off the right field foul pole. Michael Kopech comes in and immediately strikes out Cesar Hernandez on 3 pitches. Somebody came to pitch. And he wants to make a statement here like, hey, if you need a starter, I'm available. It might be time to start considering who's going to get knocked into the bullpen for a little while to work things out. Inside pitch. High and tight to Mercado, 1-0 the count now. There's still a lot of game left here. Sox are only down by 3. They have an offense, even though it's gone flat in the last couple of days. They could bust out at any moment. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Fouled off down the third base line, 2-1. Kopech gets him to swing and foul off a slider inside, 2-2. Much more accurate. You're definitely watching a different pitcher out there right now. This one now sent over to second base. Nice play by Madrigal. Jump throw as he was running towards second to make the play, and he gets the runner over at first base. Pretty play by Nick Madrigal. 2 outs right away here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and here comes Lindor 0 for 1. Kopech into the line to the lefty. Just misses low on a changeup, 1-0 the count. Lindor's got a 7-game hit streak. He's 0 for 1 in this game. High outside pitch misses, 2-0. Got on with a walk and came around and scored last inning. 2-0, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Grandal down on one knee on the outside corner. That pitch was clearly in the zone, but called the ball, 3-0. We have not seen a lot of bad calls behind home plate today, which has been a good thing. We had seen a run of those. That pitch was clearly a strike. And now he's going to walk him. And Lindor goes down to first, so he's drawing 2 walks today. And with 2 outs, the Indians have a runner on. Kopech frustrated there. Didn't feel like he got the calls that he thought he was going to get. He'll have to adjust. Here comes Franmil Reyes. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Sox trailing 4-1. Michael Kopech looks in and delivers. Inside slider misses, 1-0 the count. Reyes has struck out 89 times so far this season, 5th highest total in the American League. And he fouls off a changeup, 1-1 the count. Now Kopech comes inside, misses on a four-seamer, 2-1, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lindor with a healthy lead over first base. He'll hold, and a slider misses, now 3-1. It feels like there's a force field around that strike zone lately for White Sox pitchers. Kopech takes his time. Now the 3-1 pitch sent out in the right field is going to be a base hit. Lindor will hold at second. With 2 gone, there's now 2 on for the Indians. Jose Ramirez comes to the plate. Sox need to get him. Let's get out of this inning. He's 0 for 2. Kopech checks the lead runner at second. First pitch a strike on the inside corner, 0-1 the count. Ramirez stands in now after shaking the bat off like there was something on it. Kopech looks in and delivers. A low outside four-seamer, 97 miles an hour, misses, 1-1. The stupid drum is beating again. I hate that drum. A low changeup misses, 2-1. I want to find the guy with the drum, and I want to hit him with his own drum. I don't care if you think that's violent. I'm tired of listening to him, and I'm tired of looking at guys unable to throw strikes. 3-1 now the count as Kopech has missed outside 3 times to a guy who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He sets and delivers, and he walks him. Nope, he doesn't. I thought that he had checked that up. Ramirez thought he checked it up. The home plate umpire bails out Kopech on a pitch way outside, saying Ramirez broke the wrist. 3-2 pitch now. Ground ball. Moncada knocks it down, throws from his knees, and we're out of the inning. Michael Kopech needs to buy the umpire and Yoan Moncada each steaks. Maybe like potatoes au gratin, too. Diving play and a throw from the knees. Moncada ends that inning. It's 4-1 Indians. White Sox need some runs. They need some offense. Two runs scored in the last 2.5 games now. 1 run scored in their game 2 days ago. No runs scored yesterday. 1 run scored here today, going into the top of the 6th inning. And McKenzie throws an inside fastball for a strike, 0-1. The offense that was unstoppable. The pitching staff that could not be stopped. All of it running into troubles right now. As there's a strike, 0-2 now the count. And an outside four-seamer misses, 1-2. McKenzie into the line. Curveball low misses, 2-2 the count. 4-1 Indians. Abreu takes a high and tight fastball for ball 3. 3-2 the count is full with Eloy Jimenez on deck. White Sox need to find a way to get the runs in. They get men on. They can't get him across the plate. Abreu almost strikes out, but they're going to say he checked it up. He's down to first base. Indians fans unhappy. They didn't like the call on Ramirez earlier, and they really don't like that call on Abreu, as the umpire says he checked up, but Ramirez didn't. I don't care. I'll take it. So Abreu down the first base, and here comes Eloy Jimenez. He's 0 for 1 in this game. He's got Abreu over on first. He's got no outs here in the top of the 6th. After Jimenez, you got Encarnacion. These guys are all supposed to be big hitters. And lately, nothing. Eloy hasn't hit a home run now in 3 weeks. Abreu had one the other day after a 2.5-week drought. A lot of singles out of these guys that keep their averages about where they're at, but nothing really being driven anywhere. The OPSs are dropping. The power is disappearing. the thunder in the bats is lacking. And a strike on the outside corner makes it 1-2. McKenzie, a lanky fellow, right-handed pitcher here for the Indians, just like Kopech, will be in that starting rotation sooner rather than later, as Jimenez swings and misses at a curveball low and outside the zone, and he's down on strikes. Something needs to give here with this White Sox offense. Encarnacion stands in, and a low pitch in the dirt gets away. Abreu's not going to advance. 1-0 the count. Line drive over to third, drops in front of the third baseman Ramirez. He scoops around the horn, and another double play. I don't know who put a curse on this offense. It's nothing but double plays and strikeouts. Tyler Naquin comes in to lead off. He's 0 for 1, the six hitter in the left-handed spot. And Kopech throws a changeup low and away, 1-0 the count. He's a first-round pick from way back in 2012. The 1-0 pitch. This one's flared off into the dugout on the third base side, 1-1. Now Michael throws a high fastball, 2-1 the count, 99 miles an hour. But it doesn't matter how hard you throw the ball, you have to keep it in the zone. Seen a lot of well-thrown pitches not ending up in that box. A slider away, 3-1. And Santana stands on deck, probably assuming when I get up there, as I'm the two-hitter, there'll be somebody on base. Because the Sox put on the leadoff man every inning. This one's popped up. Abreu camps underneath it. For the first time in a long time, the leadoff man is out for the Indians. One gone here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Here comes Carlos Santana. 1 for 2. A single and a run scored. Into the wind is Kopech. And a low fastball called a strike, 0-1 the count. He's got a career total of 1,349 hits. 0-1 pitch fouled off. Kopech's got him 0-2 now. Into the wind. And across the plate, it's sent over to Madrigal at second. He'll flip to first. 2 gone. So the Sox get the first 2 again in this inning. And here comes Domingo Santana. And I'm telling you, he hits it off the end of the bat for that 3-run home run. It's curving the entire time like it's going in the foul territory, and it hits the pole. And that pitch from Alex Colome is the reason it's a 4-1 game instead of a 1-1 game. As a changeup outside misses, 1-0 the count. He's hitting .348 over his last 6 games. And a high four-seamer misses 2-0 now. A low and away fastball, 3-0. And again, this feels like the same thing we saw last inning. Gets the first 2 outs, can't find the strike zone. He walked him on 4 pitches. How many 4-pitch walks have we seen today? You might as well save your arm and just tell every third guy walk down there intentionally. Here comes Perez, he's 0 for 1. I'm going to tell you something, folks. I know it's simulated baseball, but just like you, I'm getting annoyed. And I don't know what is going on. There's been no changes to any settings. It's just like this team has run into a brick wall here in June. And a four-seamer away goes for a strike. The good news is you're 15 games over 500. And you are on a road trip. The team has been basically 500 on the road. So it's not a total collapse. But the mojo is missing. You felt like in every game this team could at any moment put up 4 or 5 runs in an inning. And now you feel like every game you're lucky if you get a run over the last few. You had that 12-run outburst the other day, and it all stopped. And meanwhile, the pitching staff continues to struggle with command. Kopech, though, now strikes out that batter, Perez, gets him on 4 pitches. We're through the top of the 6th, heading to the bottom of the 6th. The Sox need some offense, and they need it now. 4-1 Indians. Here's Nomar Mazara. He will lead off. He's hitting .212, got the only RBI of the game, saved a run when it was 1-0 on a great throw in from right field. Takes an inside pitch for a ball, 1-0. Nick Wittgren and Dominic Leone warm up in the bullpen. Wittgren has been very effective against us this season. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Inside misses on a curveball, 2-0 the count. Now a high outside pitch makes it 3-0 with Madrigal on deck. And a strike on the inside corner from McKenzie. Four-seam fastball taken by Mazara. 3-1 the count. Evan Marshall, Jace Fry starting to toss in the bullpen. And Mazara awaits the next pitch. Low curveball called a strike. Mazara shakes his head. He thought he was on his way down for his second walk of the game. Now a 3-2 pitch fouled off down the third base line. They have a shift on for him. Third base is over at short. They move more to that side of the infield. Inside pitch now ripped out deep in the right field. Back near the track. It will stay in the park. And Mazara flies out deep to right. And here comes Madrigal's 1-for-1 with a double in the fourth inning. One out here in the top of the seventh. First pitch low and away, 1-0 the count. McKenzie continues to put him near the zone on the outside corner, a lot to White Sox batters. He's trying to get people to reach. Mazara swung at a good pitch there. Just couldn't get it out. Now Madrigal does reach and lines out the first. So three of them on the outside corner. He finally reaches out there to poke one, and he hits it right to the first baseman. Here's Tim Anderson having a really rough game. 0 for 3 today. He personally has left 5 guys on. He had the bases loaded and flew out. He had second and third and flew out each time to end an inning. He has been that guy that when the White Sox needed that one hit, has been unable to come through, and now he's up here with nobody on here in the seventh. He's got a 2-0 count. Inside pitch called a strike, 2-1. Now an inside pitch again called a strike, 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Dribbled over to first base. 1-2-3 inning again. You know, remember in Major League when Serrano needed the live chicken? Can we get these guys a live chicken? Bottom of the seventh inning, the Sox trail 4-1. Cesar Hernandez is coming up to the plate. Kopech will start off this inning, 40 pitches so far in relief. He pitched the 6th and the 7th, not letting anybody cross. That pitch low and inside for ball 1 to Hernandez. Next offering down the middle, a strike. And that's what he needs to do. He's got that overpowering stuff. Every once in a while, just try to burn one guy by a guy. Today in this game, he's trying to nibble. So far, it hasn't hurt him. The 1-1 pitch. Another one burned down the middle for a strike, 1-2. So Grandal taking a different approach here in this inning with Michael Kopech. Throws a high and tight four-seamer. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Struck him out looking. And there goes Hernandez. Kopech has been racking up some good innings lately. As we said, there are bright spots during this slide. Michael Kopech is one of them. Here comes Mercado. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. He fouls off a four-seamer on the inside portion of the plate, 0-1. He's hitting .297 with a .911 OPS. The 0-1 pitch on the way with one out in the bottom of the seventh inning. Looped in the right field. Mazara unable to get to it. It's going to fall in front of him. Base hit by Mercado. 7-game hitting streak now for him, and here comes Lindor. And they're going to go out to the mound real quick. And it's Renteria. He's having a discussion real quick with Michael Kopech. And now he's going to tell him that's it. He's going to bring in Jace Fry. Fry, 20 innings pitched, 4.50 ERA, 26 strikeouts and 9 walks. Opponents hitting under 200 against him. Got a 3-2 record, 6 holds. Another bright spot lately for the White Sox. He flips Lindor around to the right side of the plate, where he doesn't have as much power. And a low inside curveball taken for a ball. In fact, the last home run that Kopech gave up was to Lindor in relief. He'd actually pitched very well, and Lindor, the second time he saw him, put one out. Renteria, remembering this, might have decided to go with Fry, who just missed inside and quickly 2-0. One out, bottom of the seventh, runner on first. Sox trailing by 3. Jace Fry, the third pitcher of the game for the White Sox. Fourth pitcher, actually. I don't want to forget Alex Colome and the 2 batters he faced, where he gives up 3 runs. The 2-1 pitch as the runner goes. Out into right field, a base hit, the hit and run paying off for the Indians. Runner over to third. And they first and third him off of Fry. And here comes Reyes with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning and runners on first and third. He's 1 for 2 in this game with a single and a run scored. And the White Sox need the double play. As much as they hit into him, we have not seen them turn very many in this latest stretch. Foul ball down the first base line. 0-1 the count. The White Sox have only lost 3 games in a row once this year. It was against the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota on their last road trip. They are in danger of losing 3 on the road in a row if they can't come back in this game. But first, Fry has to get after Reyes here and hold this. 1-1 the count. The stupid drum is playing in the background. The pitch. Outside cut fastball misses 2-1. You know, I think the drum helps spread COVID-19. And for the sake of everybody in the stands, it needs to be shut off. Miraculously, as I say that, the drum stops. Nope, it's back. 2-1 the count. Runners on first and third. Here comes the pitch. That one is sent out to center field. It's going to be a base hit, and the run is going to score. A young ball club that got off to a hot start has really hit hard times lately. Nobody can get out of an inning. Way too many 2-0 starts that counts. Way too many walks. As Ramirez now takes a cut fastball for a strike, 0-1. It's a long season, 162 games. There's a reason why nobody's picking the White Sox to win the division in 2020. Nobody was saying that really in the spring. The belief was if you ended up 10 games over 500, it was a success. It was a big year. If you competed for the wild card, not even getting the wild card, but competing in it would be a great year. And the reason is that a young team trying to go through 162 games and win for the first time in half a decade, really, to get a winning record, to try to get to the playoffs for the first time since 2008, where we got in on pure luck. It's a tall order. The trick here is the count is now full to Ramirez with runners on first and second, is to find a way to calm the team down and get them back into some semblance of winning baseball. You felt like they were unbeatable during that 9-game win streak. But it now feels so far away as this one is lifted out in the right field. Mazara, deep near the track, will catch it. He's got a good arm. Nobody's going to try him. The runners hold first and second now with Naquin coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a sac fly and an RBI. He's not too good against lefties. So with Lindor over at second base, Fry checks in, looks at the runner at first, and now delivers a strike. Cut fastball, 0-1 the count. 5-1 Indians. In some ways, it feels like it could be 20-1. The way that the White Sox offense has been going lately. And the team needs to find something to get them going again. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 1-2. You know, the pitching complemented the hitting, and the hitting complemented the pitching. So a bad day by a pitcher was sometimes covered up by that really good offense. And a bad offensive day was sometimes covered up by an insane bullpen and a good start. But with everybody across the board now a little off, nobody's picking anybody up. 2-2 the pitch. This one low and away. Count is full to Naquin. Carlos Santana stands on deck. The next offering, both runners going, swung on and missed. Fry gets him. Big strikeout there. He gave up a run. Sure, he's not happy about it. The Indians have 5 runs on 6 hits. The White Sox 1 on 4. And we're through 7 here in Cleveland. Leury Garcia will lead off the top of the 8th inning. Yoan Moncada follows him. Yasmani Grandal after that. There's an inning that the White Sox are going to get to McKenzie as 25,483 are announced here. And he continues in this game. This is the inning. You've got your best hitters all lined up. You got some speed at the top. And a curveball fouled off, 1-1 the count. Next offering swung on and missed, 1-2. Garcia chases a curveball low. 1-2 the count. 5-1 Cleveland. No outs here in the top of the 8th. Inside pitch misses, 2-2. Next pitch sent over to second base. Slow chopper. Scooped over to first. There's one gone. Yoan Moncada 0 for 2 with a walk in the 3rd inning. Stands in. And the first offering on the way. Low and away, a curveball. 1-0 the count. And now a 4-seamer fouled off, 1-1. Low changeup, fouled off, 1-2. And now McKenzie misses low and away, 2-2 the count. One gone here in the top of the 8th, a 4-run deficit. The Indians have only used 2 pitchers. Keep the Sox to 1 run. Little dribbler out in front of the plate. Moncada on his horse. Catcher's going to pick it up. Perez cannot get him at first. Moncada beats it out. That's a base hit. That's his 8th hit in a row in 8 games. So the 8-game hitting streak. He'll take it on that number. But now you need to add to that. And here comes Grandal, 1 for 3 with a single in the 3rd inning. First pitch high and tight. 1-0 the count. Yasmani, 20 home runs on the season. Hit 2 of them in a game just a few days ago. That was the last game the White Sox offense showed up. 1 run the next day, no runs yesterday, and 1 run so far today. They have ranked consistently in the top 3 in all offensive categories for the start of this season. But they look very flat. 2-1 the count. The pitch. Swung on and missed. 2-2 the count is even. Moncada with a solid lead over at first base. The pitch on the way. Inside in the dirt, going to roll away. Moncada's going to take off for second base. Throw down, he is safe. 3-2 count now. It'll be ruled a wild pitch by McKenzie. A runner in scoring position here. And Grandal's got a full count. Waiting on deck is Jose Abreu. McKenzie checks Moncada to the plate. Swung on and fouled off down the third base line. Count remains full. Moncada dancing at second. This ball also fouled off an outside 4-seamer. We'll get another payoff pitch here. Grandal lifts this one deep down the first base line, but it hooks foul. He's out in front of that one, 3-2. And now he dribbles back another one. He's hanging in now. 9 pitches in this at bat for Yasmani. Swung on and missed. 4-seamer on the outside corner. Bat was just underneath it. A long at bat does nothing for Yasmani Grandal. There's 2 gone, and here comes Abreu. And they're going to bring in another pitcher, Phil Maton. He's only pitched 1 2/3 innings over 2 games. He has not given up a run. He's struck out 2. No walks issued yet. Recently up from AAA. Must be nice to have an effective pitcher you can bring up from AAA. As a high outside four-seamer misses, 1-0 the count. Carlos Rodon could rejoin the team to start the second half of the season. But we're still weeks away from that. That would add another pitcher, either in the rotation or in the bullpen. As a high four-seamer makes it 1-1 against Abreu. The next offering, swung on and missed a slider low. 1-2 now with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. This one swung on and sent out to right center field, tailing back near the wall. It is off the top of the wall. Moncada will score. Abreu into second base with a double. A lot more production just today alone with him moving down into the 5 spot. Still able to drive in Moncada as Renteria's tinkered a little bit. And now he's on second base and it's 5-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Jimenez comes to the plate. First offering is high and a four-seamer, 1-0. Next pitch, sent down the first baseline, foul, 1-1 the count. And now Jimenez fouls that one straight back. He's 1-2 in the count with Abreu on second. The pitch on the way. Inside pitch swung on and missed. Jose Abreu hits a double into the gap. The Sox score their second run of the game, but still trail 5-2 going to the bottom of the 8th. Steve Cishek's going to come into the game. 32 games this season, 11 holds, 37 2/3 innings, a 0.72 ERA. Righty's hitting .214 against him, lefty's hitting .106. Sox trail by 3 with Carlos Santana at the plate. And a strike. Sinker down the middle and low. 0-1 the count. Next pitch away, a sinker. 1-1. So Sox get another run. They're within 3. They only have the 9th inning to work with. Encarnacion will lead it off. If he gets on, likely some speed will be put out there so he can't clog up the base paths. There's a sinker low and in. Called a strike, 1-2. Mazara has actually looked very good up there at the plate so far in this game. And Madrigal as well. 2-2 the count to Carlos Santana, who's 1 for 3. Cishek sets, the side armor delivers. Swung on and missed. He got him. Nice strikeout there. He is the best pitcher on our staff so far this season. I'm saying starter or reliever, the best. Here's Domingo Santana. If it weren't for that ball off of the right field foul pole, we could have a very different game. But he got the foul pole and hit a 3-run home run that busted this game open. He's 1-0 now at the plate. Cishek sets and delivers. And a strike at the knees, a sinker, 1-1. Santana, the 8-hitter. Perez, the 9-hitter, the catcher, waits on deck. Low and away a slider. He does not offer at it, 2-1 the count. This one's grounded off down the first base line. Foul. 2-2 the count. So the count's even with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. That one's dribbled to short. Anderson's going to get it. Spin, throw, and get it to Abreu. He got that ball, spun behind second base, threw it in the middle of the spin. Looks really pretty. Luckily, Jose Abreu is able to get a very high throw. He goes up on one leg to stretch and get that ball. 2 gone here, and Roberto Perez comes up. Cishek giving the White Sox an opportunity, hopefully, to come back in this game. Inside pitch fouled off. 0-1 the count. The righty Perez waves the bat a little. And now an outside pitch, a slider, rolls to the backstop. Count is even at 1. The next offering, swung on and missed, a slider up. 1-2. Now he swings at an outside slider. He got him. Cishek with his own pace out there. He takes care of business. A 1-2-3/8. We're going to try to come back in the ninth, trailing by 3. And on comes Brad Hand. We've seen him before. He's only blown 1 save. He's 24 out of 25 save opportunities. That's all you need to know about him. Throw everything else out. The man knows how to pitch. He's a lefty. Encarnacion, the righty, stands in. An outside slider misses 1-0, and with him being a lefty, Mazara does not perform well against lefties. The Sox will likely pinch hit for him. Inside pitch misses 2-0. 2-0 the count. Top of the 9th inning, Sox chasing 3 against one of the better closers in baseball to this point. But he's 3-0 now on that pitch that misses outside. And Edwin needs to be patient now, but not too patient. Down the middle, take it. He tried to. Fouls off a slider. Coming down the middle, it dropped out right at the plate. Felt like he was on that one. 3-1 the count. Next offering, high and inside. He walked him. So we're going to see some movement here now in the dugout. James McCann is going to come out and hit for the White Sox. And Luis Robert is going to come out, and he will pinch run. So Robert in the DH spot for now. McCann pinch hitting for Nomar Mazara. Robert's got a lot of speed. There's no reason to get thrown out, though, right now, because you don't tie the game. You're a base runner meant to keep the bases unclogged. McCann's hitting .348 with 4 homers and 11 RBI. We've seen him come in pinch hitting situations and get a hit. There's another throw over to Luis Robert on an 0-1 count. They're very concerned about him, and that might be the reason why he's in. Not to take a base here, but to keep pressure on Hand, who has to look at him every time in this at-bat. Outside fastball swung on and missed. 0-2 now to McCann. So James, coming off the bench here, is quickly 0-2. On deck is Nick Madrigal. I expect him to hit. He's looked pretty good over the last few games. This one, down the third base line, fair ball into the corner. Coming around is Robert. He's on his way into third. McCann heading to second base. He's safe. Robert heading home. He's safe. The Sox get a run, and the tying run will come to the plate from this point on. There's no outs in the top of the 9th inning. McCann with the RBI double. Adam Engel will come in to run for McCann now because he can take over in the outfield in right. Nick Madrigal comes to the plate. There's no outs. He's 1 for 2 in this game with a double. First pitch sent out into shallow right field, and he's going to fly out for the first out. So Madrigal tried to go to that side like he had hit the double earlier. He got underneath the pitch from Hand, tried to jump on the first pitch. There's one gone, and here comes Tim Anderson. 0 for 4, and he really needs to make up for a very, very rough day at the plate today. He's 1 for 5 lifetime with 2 strikeouts against Hand. He's 1-0 in the count. He's the tying run in this game with 1 out in the top of the 9th. And an outside 4-seamer catches the zone 1-1. Sox get the first 2 on and a run in already. Then the out to Madrigal. And now Anderson 2-1 with Leury Garcia on deck. Danny Mendick, the only guy on the bench not used yet. I doubt he will do anything else except come in to run if a slow runner gets on and they need him. And a low outside slider, 2-2 the count. That one hit the zone. Anderson backs out, now gets back in. The count is even at 2 with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Engel on second. Inside pitch misses a slider, 3-2. As Garcia stands on deck. They'll look back at Engel. Now this pitch sent down the first base line into the crowd. We got a full count. Tim Anderson trying to get his first hit of the game. Swung on and sent over to short. Lindor with a nifty play. Going to hold Engel and send it over to first. There's 2 gone, and the Sox are down to their last bullet. Leury Garcia comes to the plate as the tying run, just like Anderson and Madrigal. First pitch inside misses, 1-0 the count. It would be great if Garcia could get on and we could get to Moncada here. I would love to see Yo-Yo have a chance in this inning. He waits on deck. The 1-0 pitch misses on the outside, 2-0 the count. It was a little over a week ago where the Sox had a 4-run lead with 4 outs to go, and the Indians came back and won in the end. in our ballpark. A 2-1 pitch misses inside, 3-1 now. With 2 outs in the 8th inning, 4 outs to go, the Sox were down by 4. They've scored 2 and have the tying run at the plate with a runner on second. 3-1 count now to Garcia. The pitch on the way. Checks it up. They're going to say he went. Garcia is upset. He wants the appeal and does not get it. Home plate umpire made the call on him. That should have been ball 4. The 3-2 pitch now on the way. Swung on and set out to center field, dropping fast. It is caught on the run, and the game is over. The Sox threaten and almost come back in this game. Maybe a little bit of mojo was found, I don't know. There were some positives at the end of this one. But the negative is another loss. 3 in a row for the White Sox now. They've lost 4 of their last 5. And over their last 10 games, they're 3-7. Only 14 games over 500 now. They dropped the first one here in Cleveland, 5-3. The bullpen and the starting pitching have hurt the team, the lack of offense as well, even with that comeback being mounted. Lucas Giolito only goes 3 2/3. He's responsible for 3 earned runs, 5 walks, a hit, and 4 strikeouts. Alex Colome, though, is really the guy that gives up the 3-run home run. He only gets charged for 1 run in that whole thing. But he really is the GOAT of this game. Tristan McKenzie gets the win. Brad Hand gets a shaky save. Domingo Santana, 1 for 2 with that 3-run home run, is the player of the game. Jose Abreu, 2 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and a run scored. James McCann with the big double in the 9th inning to drive in a run. Nick Madrigal had a big double in the right center field. And Yohan Moncada goes 1 for 3 in this game. Unfortunately, the big sombrero for Tim Anderson, the amount of base runners that he left out there in scoring position today, a total of 6. And he goes 0 for the game. And that one hurt a little bit for us on the offensive end. And he's been so solid during this season. But a very rough game at the plate. Nobody else was able to pick him up. Sox lose this one. We got another game tomorrow. We're going to get one of these going at some point. At some point, this is going to come back around. You want to be there when it does. I'll be super excited. Maybe I need to start drinking. Next game, I'm drinking. That's what I'm doing. Rough final. Sox lose 5-3. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Cork and Carry at the Park at 33rd and Princeton is open. Thanks to Family Waterproofing Solutions, DP3 Tech, and also thanks to Sox on 35th. We'll have the post-mortem on this game right now on their website if you want to read all about it and look at the stats. My name's Chris Lanuti. We're back tomorrow. Let's take the next one and get back to our winning ways. White Sox Simulated Baseball, brought to you by Sox in the Basement, the podcast for fans, by fans, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. Bye-bye, everybody.
Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement.
Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always on soxinthebasement.com.